Have you ever felt the really strong draw to go somewhere, to do something, to take on some new activity, but you weren't really sure why? Well, when we feel the strong draw to go somewhere or to do something that's a little bit different outside of our box, it is a sign that we are being intuitively guided towards what is going to be positive, beneficial, and expansive to us. This is particularly the case if we have set goals about what's important, because guess what? Our intuition is going to work with us to get us towards things that are going to help us. They are one of our number one tools and assets. In this installment, we're going to talk a little bit about what the draw is, how to follow it, why sometimes we meet that little resistance when we're going to do something that we know is going to be good for us. And we're going to wrap up with some encouragement on why it is so good that we take those chances and we get out there, we get outside of the box, and we embrace life. If that's your thing, come on in. Let's chat. Welcome back to Crow Medicine. It is me, Katie Indy Crow. I would like to apologize for my mountain hair. As you can see, this is not my office. I am on location doing exactly the thing that this video is about. Embracing the intuitive call to get out there and do certain things. In this episode, we are going to talk about what the pull is. We are going to talk about the types of things that people are pulled to do, what happens when we do them, and we're going to just cover over just a little bit about why sometimes it can be so hard for us to do the things that we know are going to be good for us. I decided to share this message today because it's authentic, it's real. I know that right now a lot of people are feeling the pull to get outside of their comfort zones, to get outside in their communities, and to do things that are going to help them expand and live a happier life as human beings. And as I relaunch this page, I am all about that. The basics. What is the pull that so many people feel? Stated very simply, the pull that you will oftentimes feel to go visit a place, as is the case what I'm doing right now, or to pick up a book, to learn a skill, to meet a person, to do a leisure activity, are all indications that your intuition, yes, that little part of you, is trying to get you to pay attention to this thing, person, place, or activity. Whatever it is your goals are going to be what your intuition is going to help draw you towards. So for example, if your goal is to make more friends right now, your intuition is going to try to encourage you to go places where you will meet people and or have positive activities that will help you get into the pathway of doing that later on. Another example of a pull that people might feel is to go visit somewhere. Right now, I'm in the Appalachians, at one of the places that my soul will often take me to go to when I need to have a soul growth moment, or to, just have that little evolution phase that a lot of the times we do when we want to spark spiritual growth. My husband and I were out on a hiking trail yesterday. We met a young man from New York, and he was here hanging out at a waterfall by himself, and he said, I just felt like I really needed to get out there on the road and take this 2-week journey by myself. And he said, I don't really have a destination, I just know that I have to just follow my heart and follow the road, and that the right things will happen to me. And so you might not need to go to a place, you might not be going on a random week-long journey with no destination in mind, but you might be working on doing something like getting to a fitness class, spending more time taking care of yourself, learning a skill that you know is really important, and or otherwise doing something that is going to be important to you, or that you have identified is important to you. The thing about the poll is that it oftentimes works the best if you are clear with what your intentions are. So, what are your goals in life right now? Do you want to make friends? Are you looking to experience soul growth? Would you like to build a skill? Are you seeking to network in a particular community? Are you looking to cultivate a lifestyle of well being? Any of these and all of these and any combination of them or more are absolutely fine goals to have. And they are goals that your soul, your intuition, loves to help you meet. One of the things that a lot of people will experience, myself included, when we are going to go pushing outside of our boundaries is what I like to call energetic resistance. And this energetic resistance will manifest in all sorts of ways. Sometimes it shows up in we get really tired before we go to do the thing that is new or important. Or perhaps we feel a lot of anxiety around it, especially as we're about to do it. Perhaps we have little temper flares as we are getting ready to move through the process and or as we're taking steps into it. Perhaps we have little setbacks that make us really question our dedication. These are all moments where we are meeting different types of walls. So sometimes these are metaphysical walls. We are meeting the limits of the reality spectrum that we are living in, and doing something like joining a new class, doing something like learning how to take care of the soul, doing something like initiating a phase of soul growth, doing things like going on a pilgrimage. These are all things that are going to change who we are as people. And it can be scary to know that you're about to go take that leap. And so even if you don't consciously know that you're about to make a bunch of changes and or that this seemingly small thing can make a big ripple in your life, you subconsciously and spiritually know that this is what it is. And sometimes, let's be honest, we all need a hand to hold, and sometimes we all need a little bit of encouragement and love to get through that process. And that's part of why I'm making this video right now. One of the things that I've experienced a lot as a teacher, but also as a person, is this really strong nervous system reaction to when we go to move outside of our box. And sometimes it's so powerful that people will literally not do it at all. And the reason why it happens is that basically we as an energy system, but also we as a biological system, are set to live on a stasis. And so when we do something that is going to radically change or even sometimes change things in a very small way, we feel distress about it. We feel a reaction in our energy system that is connected to the physical system, that's the fight or flight response. And part of why we're experiencing that is, stated very simply, we're literally about to pop ourselves into a new way of living, a new way of being, and it's kind of like going through the birth canal. Now, that's not the only reason that we feel it, but as a psychopomp, that's probably the way that I am most qualified to talk about it. And so there are other times where if we've been living in a certain type of a lifestyle, in a certain type of a friend group, in a certain type of relationship spectrum, where we can feel anxiety or nervousness about going and doing different things just because we've had some negative feedback or experiences when we had them before. That's usually what happens whenever we are working on healing something that's connected to a soul fragment or a soul wound. What we literally have to do is train ourselves step by step, tiny little moments of exposure that this is safe, this is good. And when we give ourselves little snippets of action instead of throwing ourselves right in the pond, what we're allowed to do is gradually build up trust within ourselves, gradually move past that wall within our energy system, but also gradually move past that wall within our nervous system. What's the benefit? We've talked about what the call is. We've talked about some of the things that the call can be. We've talked about why it can be hard to answer that draw. Let's talk a little bit now more about what the benefits of answering that draw can be. Well, in particular, if you are clear about your goals, like say you want to have soul growth or make business contacts or do something with your family that's positive and expansive, you are naturally going to begin drawing yourself towards little bits and pieces of what doing that would be like. One of the things about change and growth is that it's not like a moment where everything just all of a sudden happens. Anyone who has observed themselves in the process of transformation, which many of you out there have, we all know this one thing, and that it's change comes from little tiny choices. We make choices, choice after choice after choice after choice, small, 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 and all of a sudden we have created this new wave of ripple. It's either of information, maybe we've created a happier life, maybe we feel better in our body, maybe we're more spiritually connected. And the reason we were able to get there is because we said yes to ourselves on a whole lot of little different levels. And taking the opportunity to move past the wall that sometimes we experience, and or taking the opportunity to embrace what we are being drawn towards and to go out and have those experiences allows us to transcend our life conditions. Sometimes when we are being brought to these things, that, as anyone who has tried something new knows, this can be the key to whatever it is we're seeking to experience. Maybe it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe I haven't been doing that. I feel so much better after I go to the gym or after I meditate. Or I can't believe I was so afraid to go to that group activity. That turned out to be awesome. Or I can't believe I almost didn't go to that place. What would I have missed if I didn't go? And, the more that you learn to have these experiences and to trust them, and the more that you get out there and have the positivity, the more that you will naturally continue to draw them to you, but also experience that gradual life transformation, that gradual life experience to reach that goal that it is that you've been setting in the first place. So, what is it that you are being called to right now? I'll write some of the things that I'm being called to down in the comments. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this content, throw me a like. Thanks so much for revisiting my page. I'm so happy to be back online. More from me next week. Your friend, Katie Indy Crow, with the Crazy Mountain Hair.